The Staincast.
What is the Staincast?
Stain?
Stain. Who is Stain?
Am I dreaming?
Yes.
Stain.
What's going on, guys, and welcome back to episode 107 of the Staincast. Of course, as always, I'm one of your co-hosts, Mr. Stephen E. With me, as usual.
What's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? Of course, the other co-host, Mr. DL here. As you can see, he shiced up. It's been a little bit. It's been a little while. Thank you guys for sticking around. It's been busy, you know how it is. But
yeah,
exactly, it's the kid.
Like we say every time, this isn't our full-time job, so our jobs do take precedent. We had a lot going on these past couple of weeks, but we're back to it. We're back here to finish out the season strong. We don't see any real hiccups coming, but we'll see what happens as we go along. Of course, as we teased almost a month ago now, we are covering God of War 2018, which was Game of the Year that year.
I forgot. Though.
Before we get into that, though, before we do get into that, I know that we've missed some projects and some stuff that have come out this past couple of weeks.
Not really. Low key.
Like
No, we did cover Echo. We did cover Echo. I did see Madam Web.
Come on, man. Did you? Come on, man.
It was mine and Moist's idea. We got absolutely brain dead fried in a box, and it was hands down the worst movie I've ever seen. Morbius is better than Madam Web.
That's what Chet said.
I could have told you that for free, man. I could have told you that for free.
As soon as $12, man.
As soon as I saw them toting from the writers of Morbius, I knew that shit was ass. Like, it's the craziest thing to me to be like, from the creators of the worst Sony project comes the next worst Sony product. Like,
it's like that's the only thing they have going for that movie is like the people that made Morbius. That's how you know it's bad.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the people who wrote Morbius wrote this. Yeah, but it was not good.
Shocker. I mean, Xander was telling us, I think when it came out, you were telling us like how it ended and shit. And I mean,
the synopsis of how she gets her blindness and shit like that. It's good.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, once again, just in case anyone needs a Spider-Man villain without Spider-Man, check it out.
Hit up Sony.
Yep.
Well, she's not even a villain. She's
Ezekiel Sims, his characters.
Oh my god, his character is non-existent.
And I heard they
who's the villain?
I heard they like
ADR'd all of his
lies. Yeah, ADR'd all of his lies. Yeah. The villain is Ezekiel Sim, but he's a Spider-Man character. He's not even a villain in the comics. They're just changing him to be a villain for the story, which makes no sense. He doesn't work without Peter Parker at all. So that's just goes to tell you that the talent.
I'm sure he's an anti-hero. I'm sure he's a very prolific anti-hero in this new Sony verse. They love that.
But you guys did see Dune 2. I have not seen it yet, as it comes out tomorrow from when you guys will be seeing it. So no.
Oh my god!
You see the poster in the back. Hood classic already. Hood classic.
Movie of the year in February. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna be spoiled for the rest of the slate this year, and it's looking bad. So it's gonna be a rough year.
Yeah, it was just like movies. It was just like we got there because heck, you saw the Batman when it was like the fan release, right? Like that Sunday.
Yep.
You know how like they didn't play any trailers, how they just started.
Yep.
So we thought that was going to be the story for this, but we got there nice and early. We got there like 7:02 or something, and they played trailers for like another 15 minutes. And bro, I did not see a single trailer because they didn't play Deadpool, so that's not even in the conversation right now. Of all the movies we saw on that slate, what the fuck? We got Twisters.
Yeah, it's looking.
I know Gladiator 2's coming out this year, which is so unnecessary. I just recently rewatched the first one. Amazing. Because I watched
it's amazing.
So I didn't remember any of it. Besides that one scene he's chatting about, I will get my revenge in this lifetime on the next. Shit is so hard. And there's no point for the second one. Like, the story ended. Like, the Caesar story ended too. Joaquin. Like, the only one who's left is alive is his sister. And, I mean, her son. So I guess they're going to do that.
The only thing, like, March, I will say March is pretty packed. March does have Dune.
For TV shows, yeah.
Well, no. March has Dune, Kung Fu Panda, the new Ghostbusters, which is probably going to be mid, and then Godzilla Kong, all in 1 month.
None of that sounds interesting to me because the problem is, like, I don't know. They're all franchises that have been done so many times. Like Godzilla vs Kong, another one, another Ghostbuster, another what did you say? Kung Fu Panda. Like, fucking 4 of them. Like I love the Kung Fu Panda movies. Don't get me wrong, but why do we need 4 of them? Like, come on now.
They're gonna answer that soon. Yeah, I mean the only thing I'll say with Godzilla vs Kong is that it's so tough now that like minus whatever was -1 or whatever came out, and that shit was pretty epic. And that movie didn't leave a lot to be desired in terms of like needing some more of it. Like it was a very bookend, very nice beginning and end. And now we're getting because then we're jumping back into the MonsterVerse where they are obsessed with characters like humans in a story that should be about like Godzilla and Kong and shit, but
and how they affect people around them. Like you said, -1 was tough because you saw how Godzilla affected these characters that they're building up. It's not the other way around that people, we gotta help Godzilla. Like, no, what the fuck? What are you helping this god for? Like this monster.
Yeah, the only my only 2 cents I'll throw into Godzilla vs Kong is that when we watch that trailer and there's like this one scene of them like running beside each other and it looks so bad.
Them coming out the mountain and then they're running.
Like Godzilla is just not a creation that should ever be running. Like he's just not made for it. Like his body's too big. Like Godzilla, I mean Kong, whatever. He's a freaking ape. Doesn't matter. But like him just running when he's got his arms when he's like
when he's actually
like that's him running. Yeah, it's so weird. I like that he's pink now. I think that's pretty cool. I like
the color change, but other than that, like I don't know, the movie just seems like cash grab.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But
and TV shows too, because we got Invincible coming back, and then we got
The Boys. House of Dragons this year too, I think. Yeah.
Yep, summer I think.
The end of the year.
Damn, fuck.
Yeah, but
we got the trailer for that. Yeah,
that's not here nor there. Let's just jump into this lovely game that is God of War 2018. Now, it has been a minute since we have covered a video game, so forgive me if this is a little shaky. But I guess we will just hop right in to talking about the story in general, going right into our favorite cutscene, or I guess moment from the story.
It's so tough too, because like it's so blended right now. Ragnarok in 2018, like I'm about to like if I talk about Ragnarok, someone's just got to stop me because like the games are just so perfectly woven together that like I just think about them in tandem with each other. But I mean, for anyone who doesn't really know too much about it, it's basically like a full reboot, like with the exception. I mean, even Kratos, because voice actor is different. Like he's in a different land.
Soft reboot.
Okay. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Technically, it's God of War 4. I think because when I looked it up, like I keep seeing God of War 4, and it's like, nah, this is God of War 2018. Like this isn't a continuation. Like the story continues over, but that's really the only thing that does. Like that's the only thing that continues over. Like the voice actors, no.
It's a whole new like story. Like you get Kratos' past, and they like hint on that as the main part of like who Atreus is in this story too. But the main thing is like you're in a whole new realm. Like you said, it's the soft reboot, so it just feels so much different from the past games and shit.
I mean, it's a completely. We'll come back to
rehaul.
Yeah,
I mean, like, even the gameplay of it, like it's not just some like slasher.
I was just about to talk about that. I'll say we'll come back to that in a minute. Going into the gameplay, you're right. It's not a top-down slasher. You're not just mashing buttons like beating things. I mean, you're mashing buttons a little bit.
More combos though than God of War 3. God of War 3, that's when you're mashing buttons and shit.
Yeah, there's actual combos. The Leviathan axe,
customization,
the customization, all of the powers that come with it. You eventually do get the Chaos Blades at one point. There's another weapon you can use.
The blade, right? You said the Blade of Chaos, Leviathan axe, and then no, I think those are the only.
Draupnir is until Ragnarok. Yeah. I'm thinking of Draupnir right now, and that's Ragnarok.
Yeah, you only get 2 weapons in that game.
Yeah, because the blades don't come till later. Because that's when you have to go to Hell. When you have to go to Helheim. That's when you.
That's when you get the blades. Yeah. But and then also
when he peels them shits back.
But you also have Atreus in the combat as well, with him shooting arrows, and then eventually more stuff comes from him as well. But the combat is so smooth.
Yeah, it's one of the best I've ever played. I feel like just how to do it.
I'll be surrounded by hordes of enemies, and I'm just like where most games I'll be like, oh fuck, like I need to run around and train them a little bit. Where in this one you're kind of like, all right. You are the God of War. You fucking put on Spartan Rage. You put on the Spartan Rage. That's all you need. You're fucking killing everybody.
Exactly. Then you have like your relics or whatever, like the L1 and then like square where you can just like throw like you have all these abilities and stuff too that makes it so much easier to just like clear
the axe and freezes everything in front of him.
Yeah,
That's a good ass ability. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah,
I feel like that's in Ragnarok though. Is that one the one you like raising the axe and freezes shit?
I don't
know.
That
in both games.
I mean, it definitely carries over. I would think.
That one definitely
unlock in the first game.
I got you. Right.
If not the first one you unlock in the first game.
Got you. I'm just getting my games mixed up because, like I said, I played both of these recently.
Yep. Yeah, because then you have.
So I know it's at least in this one. I know it's on the list now that I wanted to talk about this before I wanted to have this episode before I played it because I wanted to fully get my thoughts together on 2018. But I guess we'll loop back around now. Favorite cutscene or favorite moment of the story in general. DL, do you want to go first?
Hold on 1 second. Just let me I'll help you out because I see it having issues. Or no, I think we're good. Okay. I just thought it was like, but it was said like having issues communicating with server. I don't want to start talking and then it just cuts us out.
Oh, yeah.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah, I've been able to hear you the whole time.
Okay, good. Favorite cutscene. Well, this one's tough because there is just a lot of great cutscenes. I mean, the easy one is when Baldur first pulls up in the beginning. I think that's like straight off the rip. That jumps you right into the game when he sees like two beds and shit, and he's like, who else is he and shit like that. Like I think that's awesome.
Great first boss too. Great first.
I think that's one of the best first boss in video games history. Like nothing else. Like, just hits
it
like
so much more. Like you see you see Baldur pull up, and then how shook Kratos gets when he finally defeats him.
Yeah, I mean, so much so that it almost hinders the second game because I know people were kind of like iffy on like Odin and Thor and all that in the second game because Baldur was just so all encompassing as a villain. Like he really does like, and he was so much easier to hate Baldur too. I think Thor and Odin, I think like everyone kind of has a little bit of a soft spot because they're a little bit more known in mythology. It's like obviously Thor, Marvel, Odin. Yeah, exactly. 100%. So like everyone kind of has that already built-in soft spot for him. Like, oh, I know about this character, so you already connect with them a little more. But Baldur's just a straight up asshole. Like there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like I guess you can.
He can't feel anything.
Yeah, so I guess if you want to feel bad for him, like that,
honestly, I'd be mad too if I can't feel anything. It's his mom's fault at the end of the day, which is like a tough story.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, like the World Serpent. The introduction of the world.
When you first see him, you're on Gander. Yeah.
That is. First off, the World Serpent is kind of just me right now in general.
Yeah.
I love the design of it in the game, but there's the introduction and how like vast and large he actually seems because he is. He goes around the entirety of the fucking world.
He's tiny. Yeah.
It's that for this to be still a PlayStation 4 game, the way that looked was beautiful.
Yeah. No, they were all in with the graphics of this game. Like the performance too. Like they were just. It's just a very I dare to say dying breed of game where like it's a game that comes out fully baked. Like you have so many games now that come out and it's like all right, the DLC is almost like a part 2 to the story and like it should be complementary. And I think we've had this debate before about it. But like God of War just comes out and like I don't even think I even played the DLC because the story itself is just so full. Like I did so many side quests that like
for God of War?
Ragnarok, yeah.
Oh.
Not the first one. Not the first one.
Yeah, there's no DLC in the first one, right?
That's what you mean by like games don't come out like that anymore. They don't come out fair anymore. Like that game didn't need a DLC. Like games just don't come out like that.
Because the side quests are the DLC.
Had 3 of them too. 2018 had Fallen Order, God of War, and Spider-Man 1, all of which came out complete, like full-blown, full-baked games.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's fucking crazy. 2018 was goated. And that's why 2022 was also because that's when we got Ragnarok. That's when we got Spider-Man. Or no, 2023 was Spider-Man.
God of War and Elden Ring was 2022.
Was 2022.
That was a tough year.
Yeah.
2020.
I mean, it just shows you what happens when a game comes out when it's ready, not when like your made up deadline sets in.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, exactly.
But Xander, what do
you got, Xander?
Yeah.
Say when he gets to Blades of Chaos, that shit is.
Yeah, fuck. I was gonna be my next mention.
Then he sees it
because the soundtrack.
Athena. Oh my god! And you hear the soundtrack from the past games and shit, and like just it combined with the new shit. Like,
yeah,
damn. And he's like, "I'm your monster no longer." That's just the best quote in the game. Also, I just give it that scene is perfect. And he's doing all this to save his son too. Like, it's just such a touching moment.
Christopher Judge,
fucking tough.
Christopher Judge,
he's the man.
He puts on the performance of a lifetime as Kratos. He is the perfect, and I'm tight because I know there's a God of War show coming out through Amazon, I know it's not going to be Christopher Judge, but it's like I cannot vision a Kratos voice. Like even the old Kratos voice, I'll go back and listen to cutscenes or watch videos on it, and it's not the same. I like the deep voice and like the raspiness and the monotone that comes from Christopher Judge is what encompasses Kratos to me.
Yeah. This new version of Kratos. And me personally, I was gonna say I do like the old version of Kratos though for what he's doing in those games. Like he's supposed to be young and rageful. Like I like his his voice actor for that. But the new one is perfect for what he's doing now, what he's supposed to be.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I'll just say it real quick. And like he just feels so complete as a character in terms of like every dialogue he has in the game is so true to it. Like Christopher Judge, like he knows the character of Kratos better than anyone. And like any voice line he has, like they always feel like there was no part in the story where I feel like this happens a lot in TV and movies where like there needs to be an arc of a character. They force in an arc where it's like, oh, now he's got to be weak, now he's got to be soft, now he's got to develop the soft spot. He gets his soft spot for Atreus, but he's still Kratos. Like he's still everything you be from the beginning of the game till the end of Ragnarok. It's still Kratos. Yes, maybe he's a little bit nicer to Atreus, but my God,
he's still the God of War. He's still rageful. Yep. He still has all of his anger. It's fantastic.
Exactly. He's just the God of War that went to anger management. Like doesn't mean that he has a control over. Like he can just kind of. He can better control it, but like when he gets pissed off, like he's still the same guy. Like he's still gonna like when he pulls up on Baldur and fucking smokes that man.
That's
like,
what the Spartan Rage is all about. It's just the Spartan Rage's hum is what he was at his peak in God of War 3 because it's just his power is based off his anger. That's all it is. So when he's using Spartan Rage, he's tapping into that power. I feel like he's kind of nerfed himself in a regard because like his whole power comes from that. I feel like. That's why he told Odin, I will show you like the god I once was. Like nobody in that pantheon can stand up to that version of Kratos. Like if he was like that, he wouldn't have needed help for anyone taking out.
I mean, how many gods did he kill?
He killed Titans. He killed all. He literally killed Titans. Yeah, he killed Titans. He killed like Zeus. He didn't just kill gods. He killed
Poseidon, Zeus, Hades. Like he killed like
he killed them all. Like,
and those are gods in like lore and mythos. Like they're stronger than the Norse gods, like honestly, like Zeus.
I mean, because these gods are based on the seasons and shit. Like, I mean, like I just said, he killed like Kronos. Like he killed literally Gaia. He killed like the Earth, the embodiment of the Earth. He killed. Like it isn't like some like
feats in the Norse gods. The Greek
gods,
for sure. Their feats are ridiculous.
Yeah, but
absolutely.
I guess that was our little segment on the playable character because we just fucking talked about Kratos for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. You could play as Atreus a little bit in this game, right? That's not just Ragnarok.
No, not in the first one. That's just Ragnarok.
Yeah. Okay, that's just Ragnarok. Okay. But speaking of Atreus, it is time to get into the non-playable characters, and I guess Atreus is the second main character in this game. So
he get me tight in this game a little too.
He's a whiny bitch. I mean, he's straight up a whiny bitch.
Yeah, it's a coming of age story. I understand, but it doesn't mean it's gonna be any less annoying. Like as soon as he finds out he's a god, he's gonna be tight.
Yeah. I like the moment after he learned like how to humble himself though. Then he becomes like a really good character, which carries over to the second game. But everything before that is just him like learning who he is, then getting arrogant of knowing who he is, and then like he has to get humbled like eventually. Which I do like how they carried his arc there.
Yeah, I mean, like him just slaughtering Modi or Magni or whoever he was. Like the guy was literally just sitting there. He wasn't even fighting him, and he's like, "Fuck you," and he just shanks him, and then he kicks him off. It's like,
he called his mama whore or something.
Yeah, I mean. That's just weak though. That's just it's so out of pocket. Because even Kratos is like, "Come on, man!" Like when the God of War is telling you that shit out of pocket, like
that is a little out of pocket.
Yeah,
but he's Loki, so
and that's just how Kratos would have acted in the past too. It's just it just goes to show you how much of a character Kratos is mature. Like he still has that anger and he uses it when he attacks his partners, but he's so much more mature now. That Atreus has to learn how to be more like his father, which he does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean that's why it's so great because he sees so much of himself in Atreus. Like that was him. Like just like this headstrong. Like I'm a god. I fucking someone's disrespecting me. They die. Like there is no opening. Like there is no discussion. There's no arbitration. Like you're dead. And that's why. I mean, it makes Kratos even. It turns Kratos an even a better character in this movie. I mean, in this game because like him having to deal with Atreus, he's like, damn, I used to be like that kind of thing. Like he sees
He's
himself in him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a journey of Kratos realizing who he was through watching Atreus grow, while Atreus is also growing and becoming the character that he is at the end of the game, leading into the next game.
And we got to talk about my favorite character
in this game. I feel like
your favorite character. Who's your favorite?
That's not Kratos. That's not. No, Xander, did you have more to say? My bad. I thought we were switching. My bad.
No, I was just saying that Atreus just learns throughout this game, like towards the end mainly, like he's learning more from his father. Like before, he didn't. It's more Kratos' fault. Like you hear in the game, like he wasn't really the parent that was there raising Atreus. It was mainly his mom. Like he even asked him, "Did your mom teach you how to hunt?" Like it's kind of weird for Kratos not to teach his son how to hunt. That's just I feel like he was dissociating himself from his son because he didn't want any of that of his past to like bleed onto his son. Which eventually starts happening because he's not being there until he realizes, like, all right, I got to step up and be there for my son. Like, the man wasn't even there to teach him how to hunt and shit. Like, it's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. It's tough. It's so tough.
Mm-hmm.
But Dio, who is your favorite character that's not
Kratos? Mimir. Easy. Mimir. The guy who's on his fucking head. Yeah, the guy who's on his belt. Like, he's just, him and Kratos are just up, and Atreus who butts in, they're just a perfect dynamic. Like, that power triangle of, like, Kratos who's kind of, like, been in every situation, and then Mimir who knows every situation, then Atreus who doesn't know anything. Like, it's a perfect, and they mesh so well, especially when they're on Alfheim, when Kratos and Mimir are talking to each other, because they have so much stories amongst, like, comparatively, they literally could talk. I mean, they do talk for days. Whenever you're like on a boat or something, they're always telling stories and shit.
A whole bunch of stories,
yeah, exactly. And it's like it's just so cool to see like the two differences in their characters, but like how very like idea wise they're pretty similar sometimes. Like they kind of like share similar ideas in terms of like war and stuff. Because like we said, Kratos is kind of like this redefined. Like he's not like he doesn't want himself to just be known as the god of war anymore. Like he doesn't want to just be known as I'm like just the guy who's the god of war. Like pretty much said. And like you have this new identity for him, and then Mimir's like chiming in. He's throwing in his 2 cents. But yeah,
it's tough. You got to play the DLC because it does expand more about him being the god of war, and like he finally accepts that that's who he is, but he doesn't have to be who he was in the past. He can be a better version of that. So you got to play the DLC. It's like I said, it's
and Ragnarok you're talking about, right?
Yeah. For that, it's a therapy session.
I got to get around to both of those. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on my list. I just have a couple other things I've been trying. I mean, also Helldivers 2 came out, which has kind of been taking up most of my like playing console time, like when I'm not watching movies or videos. Yeah. So and GTA before that. So it's been rough trying to balance it.
Yeah.
You got my white too still?
Where'd the box go?
Got it. Where the white at?
There it is. I finished it. I got to the point where I already beat Cynthia. I beat like all the bosses, like Alder. I just didn't finish the white tree because I didn't realize when you lose, you like go back to the previous level, and I was like, "Fuck that."
Yeah,
that shit got me tight.
I did it.
That's rough.
And I'm
because like
on the black tree as well.
Because when you get down like the easier levels, whatever, but there are so many trainers in the higher. I was like on level 8 or 9, in area 8 or 9. There's 2 levels. I'm like, bro, I don't know who the fucking gate trainer is.
Fight every trainer.
No, I don't. But because they're scumbags with their paralysis, and I don't have items, so I can't fucking. It's annoying.
You can save on the floor, so you can save.
Yeah.
I saved before every battle, and then
that's smart.
Just reset.
I'd only save before the gate trainers, just because them boys be fucking dealing.
They do be dealing. Benga at the end, he was a tough one.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because I saw like all the teams, like I had them all in front of me, and like I mean, they start using legend. Like the next level, I was gonna be fighting against the guy who had the Landorus or the Thunderous or whatever. Like I was that close. I was literally like 2 off him, and I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. Not fucking doing it.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
But I guess.
Did you guys have anyone besides Mimir who you like to say is your favorite character?
I feel Boulder for me. He was just like you said, all encompassing throughout the story. Like you fight the man like 4 times. Like
yeah.
Ridiculous.
I mean, in that final battle, you fight him like fucking 3 times. He's got like 3 different health bars. I feel like
it's ridiculous. I do like him as a villain because you feel like his power set. It's just like he's super strong like you, but he's relentless because you can't feel anything. He is like his stamina's like it's off the charts. Yeah, if Kratos is stronger than him, he can beat him like every single time almost. But then at a certain point, he gets tired too. Yeah, and then Baldur can take it. So that's why it's such a good character. It's kind of reminds me of like Wolverine versus Deadpool, like the stamina versus like the strength. Like Wolverine could just fucking cut Deadpool in half, but like his stamina is just such a higher degree than like Wolverine's that it makes it an interesting fight because Deadpool's just gonna keep coming back.
And it's just a different person for him to fight. It's just like a different character, like a person for him to fight. Because Kratos is used to like mutilating people to where they're begging for him to stop, and Baldur didn't once tell him like he was liking it. He liked it. He was
wanted
shit out of him.
He wanted to keep going.
Yeah.
He's like, how do you can finally feel something?
How do you boys feel about Freya?
She bad.
Yeah, she bad.
City.
I mean, there's a reason why Odin said, "Yo, ass ain't leave mid fucking
Midgard
Earth or whatever." Yeah, he's like, "You're gonna stay right where I can see you," because you know she plays around too much.
Right there.
She play around too much. I mean, yeah, she's great. I think as a character, I think she's better in Ragnarok, the second one, just because there's more things for her to do, just because of who you're fighting at the end.
More for her backstory too.
Yes,
sure. Yeah, I will spoil it.
Because I feel like in this, like, yeah, she's a decent character, but I feel like she didn't do too much.
No,
like,
and that's what Ragnarok's for.
And then she was upset, when Baldur died.
Yeah, I mean that whole scene kind of gets me tight, but it's because like you're on the outside watching in, like you don't feel what they're feeling.
Yeah, you're not feeling that her.
But it pisses me off. Exactly, it's like he was about to kill you for God's sakes, but you're not. But I'm not a mother, so like I wouldn't understand.
She
would
have let that happen because she feels it's her fault at the end of the day for making him like that. So at the end of the day, yeah, he's gonna kill her.
That's her punishment.
That's her punishment. Maybe he'll learn something from that. Maybe that'll haunt him or something. I don't know.
He wouldn't, but she thought he would.
Yeah, exactly. He wouldn't repent for it afterwards. Maybe she thought he would repent for a change afterwards. Maybe I'll change him, but I don't know. And it's her fault at the end of the day. So I get why she was so upset that Kratos killed them, because like she literally went through all that to prevent that, and it ended up like fulfilling the prophecy anyways. Because I think she was told by someone that her son would die eventually, and then that's why she did that.
Yeah, yep, I think you're right. I mean, I got a huge love for like self-fulfilling prophecies like that. I think those are like where like the characters are trying the whole game to stop something from happening, and the more they try, the more it's going to happen. Like I think that's awesome.
It's literally one of those things where if you just ignore it, it won't happen. Honestly,
it's the same thing in Ragnarok with fucking Odin. Like it always happens where like the harder they put their foot down, the more they're letting it happen, basically.
No, but I guess we can move on to our favorite mission, side quest, collectible, whatever we want to talk about. I think before we talk into any of our favorites, we should just go into the Valkyries.
We don't have to. We don't have to. I mean, so what is it, like 7 or 8 before you fight the Master Valkyrie? They're not that bad. I didn't have.
I think it's
the Valkyrie
9. I think there's 10 total.
Yeah, like I don't think whatever it was. Like let's say there's 10 total and there's 9 before the Valkyrie Queen. I don't think they were bad. I think they were just the right level of challenging, where like you're not swapping them, like you're not fucking sweeping them or anything. But like there's still that fulfillment after you beat them. Like, yes, I worked my ass off to get to 10.
All right, so so 9 then the Queen. Like they're still challenging. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, that's something, but it's a rewarding challenge.
It's like a Dark Souls game. I know you both haven't ever played that, but that's what it's like.
The Queen is
unbeatable,
impossible,
unless you have Zeus armor or whatever that shit's called. Like it's so slimy when I have all my things set up. Like I run at him, stop time, like 1 ability, 2 ability, and more combos, throwing the sword, throwing the axes, throwing this, throwing that, and she's like down to half health, and then she just fucking rails my ass. And I must have fought her 10, 15 times, and there was one time I was so close, and after that, that's when I had to shut it down because I was about to rip my hair out.
Because I didn't play as much as God of War 2018 as I did Ragnar, because that game I literally platinum, so I had to fight all those hard bosses. But that one was really hard, the Valkyrie Queen. I think she's still probably harder than any of the bosses in God of War Ragnarok, because you don't have as much tools.
That's crazy.
As to fight her as you do in that game. That game, shit that can
because you got 3. Because you got 3 swords in Ragnarok.
Yeah,
you only have 2.
3 weapons too. Yeah,
and Jotnir is fucking so good against bosses like that, where you can just keep throwing it and sticking it.
Like I said, you can like realm shift, which is like slow down time, do all this crazy shit like Bifrost damage. So it's much easier to deal with the bosses in that game than 2018. 2018 is like you're slugging through the mud, taking out those Valkyries, trying to get to the queen. That makes me want to actually beat her.
Yeah, bro, I tried so hard to beat her. Like I was about to turn down the difficulty. I'm like, nah, I won't feel accomplished if I turn that shit down just to beat her. It's like, that shit's solved. I'm not doing it.
No, I have more experience now because I've been playing so much Souls games like Elden Ring, fucking.
I don't know how.
Now I have more experience. I'm a washer now. And plus, I beat the Valkyrie Queen in Ragnarok, and what's his name, Halfthor or whatever, the Viking King in that game too.
Yeah,
he's a bastard.
Yeah,
Berserker.
We had to collect all the swords or whatever.
Yeah, he's a bastard. He's one of the hardest bosses I fought.
Yeah. To me, like for bosses, like it always depends on what their kit is. Like if they got some spammable ass kit, or they're just super fast, or they just like can close the distance, which the Valkyrie Queen could. She would close the distance immediately. Like you tried to heal, she's on you. There goes all your health. Like she literally just nullifies anything you put at her, and it's awful. Like every other I'll say it like this: every other Valkyrie, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel when you're fucking slugging, but for the Valkyrie Queen, it's pitch black. There's nothing. there's no light. Like there's at no point that I think I was actually gonna beat her. Like there was no. I was not in denial.
Through the mud and just learn her moves. That just takes time.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. But it just gets to the point where it's just pain. Where after you can only die so many times before like, all right, this isn't happening. My kid, it's just like it's a skill issue or a gear issue at that point. Like I just didn't have the right gear for it, or I just wasn't freaking moving fast enough. Like,
yeah. Exactly, like because she's super quick. And like you said, you need the Zeus armor, and I did not work to get the Zeus armor.
No. But now let's get into the actual favorite side quests and collectibles.
Sandra, did you have one right off your top of your head? I'm trying to think of.
You can go first, Ed. If you got one, I'm trying to think right now.
That's why I was asking if either of you had one first.
Hold on.
You had the Valkyries. There was another one.
I was saying the Valkyries, honestly, but I didn't beat the last one.
No, but there was definitely another one that I'm thinking of. The mission I'm thinking of, I think there's one from Ragnarok where you save those jellyfish or whatever, then it clears up that area. But that's Ragnarok. That one was good, but that's from Ragnarok. What the hell, man?
Wasn't there a dragon boss fight in that game? I think.
Yeah, there's 3 of them. I think there's 3.
Yeah, there's optional dragons. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like the.
I think one you had to fight. I'm pretty sure there was one you had to fight, and then the other ones you could just find out.
I'm looking at it right now.
Like
yeah, Fafnir was a dwarf who turned himself into a dragon or something.
Oh, and the dwarves too. We didn't even talk about Sindri and Brog.
Oh yeah, them too. Yeah. The ones who made the Leviathan axe.
They tough.
They're actually one of the best part of the game here. They have the humor to the game because it's such a serious.
Ragnarok too.
The much needed humor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like Kratos' humor comes from like him being dry and like just straight to the point.
Yeah.
They actually
and being pissed off at people for being happy and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look up some side quests because I definitely knew I had one that I was going to talk about besides the Valkyries.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites, just hunting them boys.
I mean, I'm always a big customization
some optional dragon side quests too. Yeah, I just say those are my 2.
I'm a big customization guy, so going around and finding armor pieces or upgrades for that I'm always down for that.
Oh, the joint where you go to that planet where it's like the Colosseum type shit. So
Helheim. No, it's not.
Muspelheim.
Yeah.
Where you have like the gauntlet or whatever you want to call it, where you're just fighting through endless like waves of guys, and then at the end you get like that chest or whatever. I think there's a Valkyrie at the end of it too.
I think that's how you get armor and like exclusive armor and shit from doing those trials and shit.
Mix. I'm pretty sure there's a Valkyrie at the end of all that, so it's like after you just slug through the mud, here's another Valkyrie.
You gotta get fucking even. I think you're right.
Yeah. Of course, number 1 is defeating the Valkyrie. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of great side quests. Like, for me, when I play a game like that, I like kind of like when there's side quests on the way, I do them. Like when I'm like when you get to a point in the story, like this game is just such a it's such a great story that I get so like into it where like I don't even want to do another side quest. And like some of them are part of like kind of like go hand in hand with the story. And Ragnarok had a lot of those, I think, that like were basically the story but not the story, like a very very close story mission.
Mm-hmm.
But for this game, it's like if it's not super, if it's just like a kind of like a fetch quest mission, I'd rather just play the story because the story normally gives better rewards and it's just better.
Yeah, there weren't as much side quests in this game as there are in Ragnarok. Ragnarok has so
Yeah.
much more side quests that
Yeah.
I actually remember a lot of those.
Mm-hmm.
That is also a fair point. I mean, there weren't many that I encountered on the story last I played.
Another scene I like is when
definitely a tighter game, a smaller game.
Another scene I like. I mean, I think Helheim's cool in general, just because I feel like we're so used to like the Americanized version or like the Western version of hell that's like always fiery and shit. It's just cool to see like an icy hell. I think that's just, like, it's just a different type of mission. And then when he's in Helheim, when he sees Zeus and Mimir's like, Zeus is your father? Yeah. Zeus is your father? Oh, that makes sense. Why does that make so much sense? Like.
And I love he's like never go over there, brother. And he's talking about that area where Zeus is at. Like it's just so tough.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess we can just finish up with the last category of this with the replayability of the game. If my computer would cooperate with me and I could flip this over.
Did you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I mean, I've only played through the game twice fully now. Once when it first came out, and then once preparing for this episode. But it's definitely got that replayability factor. The story is phenomenal. The Atreus and Kratos are fantastic characters, and Baldur's a fantastic villain. All the stuff that we've been saying throughout this entire episode. I mean, it lines up for like what we talk about with movies. It's got all of those same points that makes me want to play it again. And it got me very excited to play Ragnarok soon.
Oh yeah,
get up there.
I mean, I'll say it like this: it's like as replayable as a 20-hour game can be. It's replayable. Like it's like for a movie, it's so much easier to say a 2-hour movie has replayability because it's 2 hours. But like, it's a whole you got to make a week or two effort into beating the game. Like it's not something you can just go into it one night, start at 8 p.m. and then by like 4 a.m. you're done. Like it's not gonna happen. Like it's physically not possible.
But it definitely has. I'm more inclined to play this story-driven game over others that I've played before.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have anything else to add?
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say I also like that scene in Tyr's Vault where home and Kratos, Atreus like sipping out old wine or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that scene. It's like a touching scene. I was gonna say I like that scene.
Yeah. Yeah, like the whole murals thing, like how they found like that last whatever they call it. I don't think that was called murals. I think they had another word for it, like the tapestries or whatever. Like would basically like show them like the history of like what happened with Tyr and stuff like that. I think that was a really good storytelling device. They did a great job of just like having like their little depictions show so much. They do it more in Ragnarok as well. It's just they do a phenomenal way of storytelling, whether it's Kratos knocking off Mimir or Atreus checking Kratos on something, then he obviously fucking gets back at him. Like the father-son dynamic is about as good as it's gonna get. Like it just feels so genuine.
Feels natural. The chemistry between both actors is great.
Yeah.
Damn, it's fucking pouring.
It was pouring earlier by us. Mm-hmm.
Tough. Yeah, I mean, replayable, fantastic game.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the only thing we have left to do is to rank it.
Easy rank.
Easy as pie. S rank.
Fuck, I can't do it. This pie can be reversed anyways. Regardless, S.
Yeah. I'd have to rank it up there in S.
It's got all those qualities that we talked about with Spider-Man as well. It's a fantastic story, great characters, fantastic gameplay, replayability, and it's emotionally compelling. It is an S tier game.
Yeah, I mean the quotes, the soundtrack, the game, but like you could just go down the list and everything checks the boxes. Like
it's a much needed reboot. Like Kratos definitely needed. Like
yeah, oh yeah,
if we're going to ever make a new God of War, this is the way they need it to go, and I'm glad they went this direction.
Yep. It's like I feel like at the beginning of this episode we were talking like shitting on like remakes and stuff, but like if there's ever something that needs to be remade, it's a story like this where a guy who's so one-sided as Kratos in the original God of War games, like kill. But now it's like it adds so much depth. Yep, exactly. You give him a reason to be alive besides just slaughtering Greek gods. Like
it's tough, it's cool, but like you said, you need more.
You need something else. Yeah.
Like remakes are post. I feel like if you're gonna remake something, remake things that need a remake, like bad stories or just things where characters aren't developed enough. Like if you're gonna
let's remake Morbius.
Yeah.
Let's stop remaking actually good movies. Like I don't know why we need to remake good movies or good games.
What's I don't know if you guys ever heard of this game. They should come out with a movie for Borderlands. It came out. It's by Gearbox. It's I used to play it when I was younger. It was awesome.
I think I heard something about Kevin Hart doing one of those movies.
Oh, no, he'd be good as Roland. He'd be amazing as Roland.
You know who should play Claptrap in that though? Jack Black.
Yeah, you know who should play the only serious character in the Borderlands saga? A comedian like Kevin Hart.
Just wild.
I fucking hate Kevin Hart.
He's just. I think someone said she's the Rock's shorter brother. Like he's so one track. Yeah, he's so one track minded. It's like
joke with the Rock, honestly.
Followed by joke about his height, followed by screaming very loudly. Like his humor just doesn't suit me. Like the humor of just screaming loudly for comedic effect, it doesn't work on me. No.
But does anybody have anything else to add to God of War 2018?
I mean, I think the Xbox is the only. Actually, no, because I think they have it on Steam. I think Xbox can still play it. Right?
It's on Steam. It's on PlayStation. Play it. Yeah, only PC. Yeah. Xbox can't play Steam. But play it.
Sucks to be you. Whoever got Xbox. God
damn it. Play it.
Absolutely.
Been washed. Xbox been washed for so long.
That's a whole conversation for another time. But I agree with you.
But
no, but absolutely play it. Like if you're looking for a solo player game, like if you want something you could be immersed in, and it doesn't take an hour to do it, where like you just I don't know, it's perfect.
It's just a compelling story, like I said earlier.
Exactly.
It's emotional too. I feel it's definitely more emotional than the second game for sure. More personal too.
Once you start playing, you won't want to stop.
Yeah, absolutely,
for sure.
But thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to the kid, of course.
Do we have a question? Did we ask a question? I know it was so long ago. Did we ask a question?
That was a while ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was just thinking about it. Maybe we can. Did we? Shit, it was so long.
Was it the poll?
Yeah, I think it was, wasn't it?
No, was that the week before?
February 3rd. February 3rd. I mean, I don't think we recorded since January, so February 3rd when we posted.
That would be
so. I guess they don't even know what we're covering. So we've been talking about it like it's fucking common knowledge. But so,
wait,
for anyone who doesn't know,
either for God of War.
No. I'm talking about like the franchise because like we posted which one you guys want, but then we never said which one won. I think.
Did we never say which one won? That's
because even Joe asked. Because even Joe asked me this morning, which one are we covering, Transformers or Harry Potter? So, everyone, drum roll. I'm sorry, you guys have been waiting on this answer for a very long time. Harry Potter.
Yes,
there it is.
Me and DL will be watching Harry Potter for the first time and giving our thoughts. I know Mumbrella said he voted for Harry Potter because he was going to watch it for the first time with us as well. So hopefully we can get him on a couple of episodes.
No way it was Transformers versus this. How Transformers get so far? I should ask.
It was
the first three are fucking goated. Come on now, yeah.
I'd say the first one was goated. I kind of like.
Dark of the Moon. No, Revenge of the Fallen.
I kind of like Revenge of the Fallen.
All three of them goated.
Nah, Dark of the Moon one that fell off. That's one that fell off.
Yeah, a little bit. It was all right. The Dark of the Moon was all right, but like
after they got rid of Megan Fox, it fell off. Honestly.
And then the whole shit was Sentinel when they smoked up. Oh fuck! Oh fuck!
I gotta put that in. Yeah, but yeah. So we're covering Harry Potter. It'll be our first time watching it. I'm kind of excited.
I'm excited for something new. I haven't did a reset, not reset, but like a fresh page on a franchise. Probably in a really long time.
Yeah. Very excited to start it off, but that's the only question we had, DL.
That's the only one I see. I mean, let me just take a look real quick, just so we're not kicking ourselves. As soon as we end it, and then there was something else. No, February 3rd was the last one.
All right.
Yep.
All right. So now, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to the kid for joining us. Stay tuned this week for the question of the week, and of course, as usual. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. That's a pig right there. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple, leave us a review and follow us. If you are done with all of that, go over to our Instagram at the Staincast, give us a follow, turn on post notifications, and click the link in the bio to buy the merch. And of course, stay tuned for this weekend, I think, for the question of the week.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. For the question of the week and the teaser for Invincible Season 1, with that episode coming in the week, hopefully, to follow.
Yes, sir. See you guys then.
Talking balls.